Seattle, Washington. It's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a 6-time Pro Bowler now in his 9th NFL season. It's Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A look at the numbers from Penny last week. 17 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games. They've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
On second down, here's Penny. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On third down, Wilson. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. This is brought in at the 21. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now Dak Prescott leading the way onto the field. His 5th year now as a starter as he gets the keys again to this Dallas Cowboys offense.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Got his man there, complete to Gallup. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early in the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going to the passing game, it should open up his running game too. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run with Elliott. 11 yards there, first down.
Trey Flowers on the stop. Again.
That's how you pick up a first down. You know where the sticks are. You know where the first down marker is, and you find a way to get there. That's called having vision.
He had a lot of vision last week, didn't he? NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was dominant. They go play action here on first down. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
10 yards.
What a great rookie campaign in 2019 for DK Metcalf, who came in with high expectations, was actually upset that he went in the second round, not the first round, but quickly proved everyone wrong who didn't take him prior. 900 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns, and looks exactly like a Seattle Seahawks receiver is supposed to look. Big, strong, physical, and catches all the contested passes downfield.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
10 at the 37-yard line.
Now it's Penny. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. Flush. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Cowboys 7, Seahawks nothing.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Here we go, D, get off the field. Line 54.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
It's always interesting when you get ready for a Seattle Seahawks game, because when you think of their receivers, you think of these guys going to be 6'3", 6'4", 225 pounds out on the perimeter. But Tyler Lockett, he shatters all of those thoughts. Much more like a water bug, but maybe their most trusted target downfield. Led Seattle with 1,057 yards last season, operates in the slot and outside, and is tough as any receiver in the NFL.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The ruling on the field stands.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Draw play, Elliott. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He'll buy some time right. Connects here with the tight end, Blake Jarwin. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Tackled at the 20.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Prescott toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. And that not a sight you want to see. Rashad Penny very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll run this with Homer. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Are you serious, dog?
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. Here's Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The rookie CeeDee Lamb, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now we'll look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 24-21, the final score. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. David Montgomery with both of their touchdowns thus far, as he scored twice on the ground. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. 19-13 was the final score. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Fielded in the end zone. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else. Now he opts for the spin. Room here to Ezekiel Elliott, gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Cowboys have recovered. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. They'll try again with Elliott. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You got to walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, Coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Cowboys trot out Greg Zuerlein. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
5-yard attempt.
And Zuerlein's kick is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0.
Seahawks, nothing.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
After the penalty, it's Penny. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal.
Another try for Penny. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
No good. That keeps the score Cowboys 24.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From the 27, Prescott. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
The run by Elliott, a good one on 1st down as he's able to pick up about 6 there. 4 yards remain for second down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They go to Elliott again. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there and a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Zerline good with a PAT, and they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Now he steps away.
Russell Wilson.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Dak Prescott.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. A 20th carry here for Elliott. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now here comes the Dallas defense as they work their way back onto the field. They did their job coming into the hostile environment, doing what needed to be done to get the W.
And that has to feel great because all during the week, that's one of the goals that they talked about. Going on the road, making that stadium their own, establishing themselves in the game. Give them credit. They got all those things done.
Yeah, both sides of the football did their job in this one. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Left side, it's Dorsett. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Wilson will throw again. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
Wilson's pass intercepted by the Cowboys.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Following the interception, here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Throwing here, Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.